Okay, guys, so tomorrow, Wednesday, the 18th of September, the Federal Reserve is going to cut rates. This is an overwhelming likelihood. It's incredibly important because this could influence the entire market, the entire economy. And when the Federal Reserve cuts interest rates, they're cutting the short-term federal funds rate, which is really just the amount that banks charge each other to hold money overnight and lend money overnight. But when they cut this, eventually it trickles into long-term interest rates like mortgages, auto loans, broad lending in general. And it takes maybe a year, maybe a little bit more for that to actually happen, but this is incredibly important for the economy and everything else. Now, prior to yesterday, really prior to Monday, they were expecting overwhelmingly a 25 basis point cut. It was like 70-30. It was most likely going to be a 25 basis point cut. Well, in the last few days, with some Fed speakers coming out and with some other stuff happening, the Federal Reserve has pivoted to an overwhelmingly probable 50 basis point cut. Now, I disagree with this. I think it's way too soon for a 50 basis point cut. I think if we jump into deep rate cuts, it could cause a panic. People could fear everything. Generally speaking, historically, when the Federal Reserve cuts rates really aggressively, it's usually because something is broken. In 2020, they cut rates aggressively to try to save us from all that stuff. And, something was breaking. In 2008, they did the same thing and something was breaking. And so my worry here is that they're rushing into deeper rate cuts earlier than is really necessary. Now, I know we got a lot of people pushing for rate cuts and because they're bringing up like economic weakness and their unhappiness as the justification for it. But you have to understand, when the Federal Reserve cuts rates, the consequence is going to be more spending. When rates go down, people spend more, they have cheaper access to money. And so the consequence of this will be at least some inflation. Now, I'm not saying inflation is going to spiral out of control with these rate cuts, but it's certainly going to increase if we don't do our best to control it, especially if we don't ease into it. Again, I was okay with a 25 basis point. We'll see what happens with the 50 basis point cut. And again, as of Tuesday, right now, you can see these probabilities. They're at 65% chance of a 50 basis point cut, 35% chance of a 25 basis point cut. And this could change. They do change sometimes leading up to the actual day. If you want to know what the Federal Reserve will do, check it 30 minutes before the actual decision. So at 1:30 on Wednesday, check this on CME Watch Tool, and it'll tell you almost certainly what's going to happen. It hasn't been wrong in that regard in years. And so that's one of the ways you can really see what's going to happen. Right now, it's pretty probable that it's going to be a 50 basis point cut. And again, we'll see what happens. The Federal Reserve controls these interest rates, and they try to keep things balanced. A low interest rate environment is not always the best thing. And when you consider how much inflation has gone up over the past 5 years, that's the reason people are generally unhappy, is because prices have gone up to obscene levels. And by cutting the federal funds rate, the only thing that's going to happen for inflation is that it's going to go up, not down. And so I just hope people are prepared for that with these rate cuts. And again, the good thing is that, real estate will be a little bit more affordable, most likely, in terms of mortgage rates are going to go down. There will be about a year plus lag for this. So maybe next summer, maybe a little bit after that, you should see mortgage rates start to come down, and they might go down in sympathy to this report. But again, don't underestimate it. It's a massive report, and we will be streaming the entire thing live right here on the Beginner Trading YouTube channel. We will stream the entire FOMC decision and meeting starting at 2 p.m. Wednesday, the 18th of September, and we'll stream the full 2:30 press conference as well. And what Jerome Powell says during that press conference is massively important. And so tune in. We'll see you guys there. Good luck. As always, guys, I have no idea what I'm talking about. I might be wildly wrong about anything and everything I say. Don't copy me, but tune in. We'll see you guys Wednesday. Good luck.